Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Arkum. I'm from Pahlawan School of Social and Political Science in Bangka Belitung Alem Province in Indonesia. I'm very pleased to be here. The topic of my presentation is Economic Geography of the Mining Industry, Understanding Regional Characteristic Metal Crude with or without development in Bangka Belitung Alem Province in Indonesia, period 2004 and 2018. We all know that Indonesia has the potential for rich natural resources in the mining sector, such as for gas, gold, iron, coal, copper, silver, tin, and so on, which are scattered in various regions. In fact, several regions such as Kalimantan, Sumatra, Riau, and Sri Irian Jaya have made and natural resources of the mining sector the command in chief in driving the regional resources economic growth, in implementing their welfare, in improving people welfare. Bangka Belitung Alem Province is the second largest in tin mining producer after China, which is widely known in the international market with the trademark Bangka Tin Mining. Tin mining in Bangka Belitung Alem Province has been undertaken since 18 countries. Natural resources can affect vertical and horizontal inequalities. Vertical inequalities concern the gap between the poor and rich. The horizontal gap is the gap between region and region that are rich in mineral and those that are poor with mineral resources. Therefore, one of the keys to success in managing the impact that mineral rent and help on the distribution of income both vertically between rich and poor and horizontally across region and region within a country. Economic geography is subdiscipline or geography that evolved from studies in economic. Economic geography deals with the spatial configuration of economies, the industries, and country in the global economy in all its manifestations. In its further development, the theme of economic geography studies developed into contemporary economic life, including globalization, growth, and underdevelopment of region, innovation, and economic system restructuring. Economic geography has faced three further questions. One, how does geography matter to be spatial dynamic of capitalism? Answer shape argument about where and how economic geography can be contribute our understanding of spatial inequalities. What is the economic and what is geography in economic geography? Answer shape how do big question is posed and answer. And third, what is to be done to address spatial inequalities? There are three cases tapped in this question of economic geography, namely first, geography distribution and the phenomena of economic location. Distribution shows that variation in employment, in financial and business service, and map the distribution economic activity to reveal and address to a basic what and where question. Second, explain the understanding the distribution or pattern of spatial economic activity. This demands an explanation of different questions, namely why and how. That there are need to be synergistic involvement of policies between the government and the private sector to make recommendation and offer advice, and particularly geographic issues. Economic geography also tries to explain how to economic geography of a particularly country and region should be organized in order to have social relevance. This study used discriminant analysis to solve the following problem. Broadly applied discriminant analysis serves the dual purpose of discriminant and classification. Group separation in C by means of the discriminant function, whereas future individual identification is handled through classification rules. And discriminant analysis is a statistical technique for classifying individual or object into mutually exclusive group on the basis of series of prediction. Discriminant function analysis was performed to show what predictors were the key factor in explaining the four region group. The seven regions in Bangka Belitung Island province can be divided into four groups based on economic growth, poverty and employment, economic exploitation, and human development index. The variables above are different from those in the previous studies that use variable economic growth and per PDB per capita. Discriminant analysis is conducted to explain what are the key determinants of growth with or without development in 7 districts or cities in Bangka Belitung Island province. The unit of analysis in this research is the district or cities in Bangka Belitung Island province with the observation year 2004 and 2018. The province of Bangka Belitung Islands has 6 districts or cities, namely Bangka, Belitung, Bangka Barat, Bangka Tengah, Belitung, Timur, and Pangkal Pinang. The discriminant analysis is carried out to predict the classification of district or cities development in the province of Bangka Belitung Islands by classifying them into region of economic growth accompanied by development and economic growth without development. The discriminant function is used to test the role of each variable, namely economic growth, poverty, unemployment, economic exploitation, and human development index. The result of this study, discriminant analysis, is used to explain the most influential variable to determine and the classification of areas experiencing economic growth with development and economic growth without development. Based on the result of the typological analysis, the typology of regencies or cities have been determined which are categorized as areas experiencing economic growth with development and areas experiencing economic growth without development. The result of the analysis of this discriminant model were able to correctly allocate data on growth without development and growth with development in more than 18.6% of case. The table presents a summary classification of model, which only failed to allocate 6 case to growth with development and 0 case to growth without development. As a result, membership in the region classification is correctly predicted to 60% for areas with growth without development and 1,000 for areas without the growth with development. Based on this 5 variable, it has been tested that the economic exploitation variable is most influential variable for determining the classification of areas experiencing economic growth with development and economic growth without development. So that the higher of economic exploitation, the more it will determine the area to experience growth without development. This research has 3 findings as follows. First, the finding of this study support the research conducted by Kuncoro and Idris, which state that as Kalimantan province in Indonesia is an area that experiences growth without development due to high economic exploitation in this area. The second, the study found that for the development variable, the coefficient value is almost close to 0, so that it is not too significant in affecting area that experiencing growth with development and growth without development. And third, the variable of the human development index, poverty and economic growth have a negative sign, so that the 3 variables reflected to opposite of the variable of economic exploitation. The negative coefficient sign indicate that the lower poverty, economic growth, and the human development index will encourage the region to experience growth without development. The conclusion, the finding of the spatial dimension analysis The study has completed answer to economic problems that previously were only able to answer what good will be produced and how to produce them, and for whom that good are made choose to be educated. This chapter 4, where the region are the pool of economic growth and underdeveloped region, to strengthen the analysis that the province of Bangka Belitung Islands is experience a growth without development. This is indicated by the recent finding that there are still 5 districts or cities that were left behind during 2004 and 2018 period, namely Central Bangka, West Bangka, as Belitung and Belitung Regencies. If you have any question, I would like to answer them later. Thank you for your attention.